Well, hello. I think I am next. Colin, you'll probably want to cut this from the recording because it's sharing our own personal forecasting data. So what I've been working with Ariel, Richard, and GB on the last couple weeks is trying to figure out how we can get our Kaizen process into Omni. And those of you who are less familiar with Kaizen, it essentially is our Salesforce casting process. It works in two ways. There are inputs that each AE individually adds in terms of their weekly call of what the amount of money per quarter they're going to bring in is. And then there is data from Salesforce that essentially we try to aggregate and say, okay, on a weekly or monthly basis, or sorry, on like a quarterly basis, which deals are being pulled into, and like, should you count these in your call or not? Because some context there is sellers might have a lot of deals in their pipeline, but not all of them are going to close, and not all of them are going to close in quarter. So the question is, how do you get something that is both like a snapshot of time with regard to Salesforce data, but also have manual data? And so that is what we have tried to prototype in Omni. So it's still working prototypes and things to pilot out, and we haven't rolled it out to the team yet, but I thought I'd just kind of talk through what the process has been. So this is what some of the finished view is going to look like. You can see this spreadsheet view with inputs in it that should mimic similarly the spreadsheet that the team has been using to replace kind of their manual input tab, this tab. And then we also have the rolling Salesforce data, the snapshot data tab, which should have things like the Kaizen call, the Kaizen forecast, and you can ignore some of the numbers. This won't tie out perfectly to Kaizen because it's dummy data that I loaded in. But the idea should be that instead of having to, use a pretty stale spreadsheet that doesn't always update automatically for deals that enter the pipeline or change, you can go in and filter to your deals. You can see kind of what your call is. People can review, hey, like which deal of these is in call? What's the value of it? What's the week over week trend? To actually edit the manual call, you'll have to go into the workbook view right now and go into the CSV upload source tab and kind of add your calls. So this should work like the spreadsheet tab. And then all of that can get aggregated in the spreadsheet view. So not only can we pull in people's individual calls, but you can actually see down here, we can take snapshots in time of what people's calls were based on like the opportunity history topic in Salesforce, and essentially aggregate that to figure out what our weighted forecast is and other things like that. So just some fun use cases with spreadsheets and CSV uploads. And that's all for me.